And make sure you go to the island when it's not in the off season.
So the on season?
Don't be a tourist. If you go to an island, make sure you have a boat. Hey horror fans, and welcome to the resort that is our studio.
5-star. Sergeant mission to come down here and hang out with us.
We should not
No
do
one
that.
no one would ever buy a ticket.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that because, we're nice people and we're not greedy.
Yes, you could come hang out with us for free. Also, please never do that because I don't like strangers.
And if you do, make sure you call in advance.
And I will not ignore you.
Or tweet in advance.
I may respond, but, chances are no.
Well, we have a fun review for you. At least a review for you.
Yeah, it's a review. We're reviewing a movie.
It was one we watched the other day.
It was a highly anticipated movie for me.
Yeah, it looked fantastic.
We're reviewing the 2021 film Off-Season, directed by Mickey Keaton.
Yep, we are. He also directed Psychopaths, which I know we watched.
Yeah, Psychopaths was a pretty good movie.
On one of our
movie boards, I think it was. Yeah, that's a good one. He's done a few other things. Nothing that I really liked as much as Psychopaths is concerned.
Yeah.
What do we think of Off-Season?
Well, this is what we think. One.
Let's start with the good.
Yeah.
Is there any good?
Yeah, there is.
Okay, let's start with the good for Off-Season.
So Jocelyn Donahue from House of the Devil, most notably.
Really good actress.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of hers.
Dr. Sleep, she was also in Dr. Sleep too.
Insidious Chapter 2, Holidays, a really good genre actress. Right?
Yes.
Very recognizable.
I thought she was fantastic as the lead, and some of her scenes with Richard Brakey were really intense too. That's one of the things that stood out. The score was another thing that kind of stood out to me.
The score was okay. It didn't really stand out to me.
There's a few moments like it was kind of eerie. And when they're driving in the car and it's like, I'm right behind you. Please look up behind you.
That's just reminding me of like Final Destination though.
Yeah, something like that. But it was like, so that song, when it's playing, it's got this ominous vibes and you're like, something's out there and it's creeping all around them. That was intense, the way that was like kind of building up to me.
I didn't really get that, but I'm glad that you did. Is that it? All I got?
Those were two things. I have more, but I'll give you a chance.
The good for me is a very small list, but it looked very pretty. The film looked like it was shot well. The cinematography looked good. The location that they had looked good. It isn't like an island movie. I feel like they went a bit heavy with trying to create an atmosphere. With like the fog, I felt like it was just a bit overkill. If they would have dialed that back some, I think it would have looked even better, in my opinion. I see what they were trying to do, but it just felt a little too forced for me. That's really, I really like Jocelyn Donahue. Awesome actress, some great movies. I wasn't really a fan of her in this one. I felt like her acting was actually kind of dry and just not a lot of emotion put into it in a role that should have had an awfully lot of emotion for what like she was going through. I felt like it was just kind of dry, kind of forced, still kind of stale. So really the only good for me, I guess is what I'm saying, is how it looked. The cinematography, and it was pretty to look at. Yeah,
it definitely needed more Richard Brake scenes.
Yeah, he was in it at the very beginning and then at the end, and that's about it.
Yeah, like his scenes I felt like were pretty intense and like kind of were driving the story forward. But the story's pretty bland. It's like been done a ton.
Yeah. There's slow burns, and then there's this movie.
Yeah, like there were scenes where it showed her walking, and all of a sudden she was just like running, and she was in a woods, and then like a shot later it was like in the town, and then it was some other place where it was like kind of all over the place. Like it didn't really have good continuity.
The editing, I don't think was good. I didn't like the editing. That's going with what you were saying. It was a very sleepy movie to me from the start. And if you're going to have a sleepy movie like this, with the location, with the atmosphere, everything like that, you have to be able to do something to stand out. And this movie did not do anything to stand out. So it was just a sleepy, monotone movie to me from the beginning. And really, from the beginning, if we're talking about the beginning, I was taken out of it immediately because the mom was talking directly to the camera. Like she was talking to us. And it's like, I don't know if you really consider that breaking the fourth wall. It's not really that. But like, I'm not a fan, really, when we're trying to have a serious movie. This is obviously it's not a comedy at all. And we're looking directly into the camera and talking, like they're talking to, I don't know. It kind of just took me out of it from that opening scene. And that was kind of a bummer to me.
Yeah, for me, that didn't bother me as much because what they were going for is like this lady who has dementia and is kind of rambling on about stuff, but it didn't fit either. It was that scream at the end when she's like, "Oh, your nightmares or what help you out," and then she's like, "Ah," and like that part kind of, but like some of the
one last jump scare and they're kind of just
like some of the dialogue. I'm like, okay, I see what they're setting up, sorta a little bit, but then that didn't follow through, and then they get to the island. And that's when they start seeing the dead people on the island. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
That would have been earlier, but
yeah. Fine.
Anyway, so like, and then like there's no one else there for most an hour of the movie.
Pretty much the entire movie is her wandering around yelling for help.
And then she goes into a place and no one's there.
She never gets help.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Or tries to answer a phone or operate a bridge, and it's like not a. It's
you know what got me with that is like they had the old VHS operation tape of how to operate the bridge,
and it was playing that as she was trying to.
I was like, really? Like, wow, this VHS tape is set very nicely to her needing to look back at the screen. Like it was just like so forced to me.
Yeah, that part, yeah.
Like we've seen this movie before, and we've seen it done well with Dead and Buried.
I was gonna say Dead and Buried was what this movie reminded me of.
Yeah.
Like it was like a mix of Dead and Buried and like Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, I could see that.
Sort of with that, if you die on the island, you come back.
Yeah, that's what they were trying to do. A little bit of a creature feature, a little bit of a sea monster Cthulhu type in there also.
Yeah, Lovecraftian in that way. And that's been done out the wazoo.
Yeah, so many times, over and over again.
Underwater did it better.
Yeah, if you're going to do, I said it earlier, and adding on to what you said there, if you're going to do something like this, location, story, premise, everything like this, it's been done so many times, you need something to stand out. Whether that be an amazing script, this did not have it. Whether that be an amazing lead actor or actress,
It had it.
To me, we're going to agree to disagree with that one. To me, it didn't. I felt she was bland. But of course, the material she had to work with was not good anyway.
I should clarify, it had potential with her.
It did have potential with her. That I will agree with you on. And that's about it. You know, I don't like the directing. I didn't like the pacing. Was horrible to me. Like
it was very slow.
Super slow. Not anything happening. Nothing worth happening.
And like the ending was just so random and out there.
It was it was not good.
And the CG, especially for the monster at the end, which is just a shadow in the background
it's
for 5
way
seconds.
back in the ocean, kind of with the lightning going and stuff. You kind of see flashes of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like anything though, really. Like at first I'm like, I didn't even notice it. At first I'm like, oh wait, is that something back there? I guess it is trying to be something.
I feel like this movie could have been so much better had it focused on the mother character who had died and had come back to the island and been reborn because they had buried her against her will. Like some of those scenes where she's talking and it like is about dementia and like how you interact with the people around you when you're going through that was scarier than what was on the island potentially.
That is true.
And like had they focused more on those little pieces, it could have been way better.
Could have been better. In the end, the final result was not good in my opinion. I gave it a 2 out of 5. I gave it 2 just because of how it looked. To me, I liked how it looked pretty. Nice cinematography. That's about it for me. If you want to see a movie like this, but done extremely better, check out Dead and Buried would be my recommendation. That is a fantastic movie in my mind.
Agreed, 5-star film.
Yeah, so skip off-season, check out Dead and Buried.
Yeah, I mean, or you can check it out and see if you agree with us.
Definitely do that also. It is streaming right now on Shudder. Came out on Shudder June 10th, which was, you know, depends on when you watch in the video, but not long at time of recording this video. So that is all for you today. Just wanted to hop on and give you a fast review of off-season. Thumbs down from me.
Yeah.
Go ahead and like, subscribe, hit that bell to turn on post notifications for us. You can share it on Facebook and Twitter. That'd be awesome. And of course, comment down below if you have seen it, were you a fan of it, or do you recommend skipping it and going something like Dead and Buried? Let us know. You can follow us over on Instagram at Sons of Haddonfield.
And I Bet Joe.
And Horror Sensei.
And I Bet Joe.
You already said that.
Oh, yes, I did.
And on Letterboxd at
I Bet Joe.
And Husker Sensei for me. And on Twitter, you can follow us on Haddonfield Sons.
And you know, I've said it many times now, but
to drive the point home,
I Bet Joe.
There you have it. Thanks so much for sticking around, checking out this video. Remember, everyone loves a goddamn lobster roll.
And make sure you go to the island when it's not in the off season.
So the on season?
Don't be a tourist. If you go to an island, make sure you have a boat.
What are you talking about?
So they can get off the island. I don't know.